Well, let's paint a little bit of sky, shall we? A little titanium white on there. Some yellow ochre. A little alizarin crimson. Whoops, that's a bit too much. Oh, what will we do? These colors will be in this neighborhood, I think, of the painting. Making a shape something like that, I guess. Yeah, okay. Get rid of that. Take the red away for the most part. And some yellow ochre and white. I'm not going to go too white just yet. Oh, that's already dangerous. Throw a little more yellow ochre in there. And carve into this bush here. And the tree. Okay. Need some kind of a design in the sky. Well, don't need it, but I kind of like it in this case. We'll carry this off to the right hand side of the painting a bit. No, too much white. Okay, we'll go back to that yellow ochre and a bit of alizarin crimson. Staying warm with our colors. Going a little bit dangerously pink there, that's okay. And okay, we'll remix another pile of that. Yellow ochre, alizarin crimson, and a bit of white. This time I'm going to add a hint of ultramarine blue. We're going to start bringing a little bit of purple in. going purple rather. It's sort of a rich magenta at the moment, but that's the direction we'll take it. Now, excluding the yellow ochre, so white, alizarin crimson, and ultramarine blue. I'm still picking up bits of yellow ochre from the mix, because I keep going into the same pile. I don't mind cross-contaminating a little bit. Yeah. Little alizarin crimson and white, just sort of pinkish spots here and there. Okay, now I'm going to clean my pile. Actually, well, no, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just go back into the yellow ochre and a bit of white. Oh, it's a bit too cold. Okay. Let me just, oops, cut into there a little bit. Okay. No, too light. See, I had paint on my knife and I want to cut into here, but I wanted to test it here to see the value. It's a little harder with a knife than it is with a brush, because with a brush you can see the value on the brush. With a knife, it's hiding under the blade of the knife, and because I try to avoid overmixing things, you can't see what's there always. So it's really worth it just to do a quick test spot. And I have the feeling that I might also be lightening this spot up here. I might have gone too dark right away. Okay. Yeah, I am going to be doing that. I am going to make it a little bit lighter. Not too much. scrape off of there, deposit it here. Okay, let's get this area sorted out now. I've carved in around the trees and rocks that are in the foreground. So let's straighten out our colors a little bit. Or get them a little closer to where I want them. That purple is just a little bit too strong. You know, this is really our focal area in here, you know, probably about here, but I want this to be wide open, more colorful, and then we have, you know, toning down in color towards the back side of, or towards the left-hand side of the painting. Excuse me. So we have this shape, and we have this shape. I'd like to make a few shapes within this shape, just to make it interesting. I think I'm going to give my palette a quick scrape. I'm not cleaning it completely, but I'd like to clean it up a little bit. That's a little more interesting. Okay, just keeping my knife reasonably clean for the moment. Okay, so sort of a soft transition from, you know, ochres and a bit of alizarin crimson, and then introducing some blues, going into a soft purple here. Well, transition back here might be fairly soft too. My original intention was to make it harder, but we'll see how it looks. That's the fun of a knife. It's so easy to scrape off and lay back on. You know, if you only have a small area, a small painting like this to, if that's all I have to worry about, then yeah, it's, I can easily, you know, or even a bigger one. As long as I know that I'll have the sky completed within one sitting, I don't worry too much about everything not being perfect. Kind of go about getting the sky covered and then revisiting, you know, the whole thing. It's too late. Will we go purple? Will we go umber? Might add a little bit of raw umber in there just to dumb it down a little. Let's see. You know, I think I could just take that light right off the edge of the painting there. I believe I can do that. I think we'll get away with it. So let's try that. Starting on this corner because I feel very safe about that. As we work our way to the left, that might change, but this feels pretty safe to go about this in this way. Kind of funny after after painting some larger work, a 16 by 20 feels so small. I'm still using a pretty large implement for such a small space. It's not a huge knife, but shapes within shapes within shapes. Okay, let's back up and have a look at that. Okay, I think we can go in the direction of deeper purple going into some maybe bits of ultramarine blue. Back here, that's kind of dirty. That's okay. That's a alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue, and just a contamination of yellow ochre. Just keep adding some blue in there. Seeing as the blue sits quite nicely, against the yellows here. That seems to work. It's quite dark, that's okay. I want my focus to be here. Really it's gonna be just a little bit right of center. Mostly here, but reflected a little bit in the water. Just dip into the cobalt blue there for a sec as well, just for the heck of it. No, I think we'll stick to the ultramarine. Just clean the back of my knife off along the shoulder of the painting, and then when I want to pick that paint up, I'll go down into the painting a little bit That way we're not flicking paint off the edge of the painting onto the wall behind. A little bit light there. Okay, what if I add a hint of raw umber to that? Well, I know it's going to happen, but is it the best choice? Is it going to work for this painting? Every painting's different. I know my colors, but to say you know your colors doesn't mean much. Every painting has its own way of developing, and just slight changes in where you've placed your colors and the values and the chroma make a big difference. That's going to need work, but I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. No, that's pretty blue. So if I put yellow ochre into it, we go green. Hey, why not? Why not put a little bit of green in there? Let's just see. Just for the fun of it. Do I want that? And more importantly, do I want it up there? You know, I know, here's the thing. I know which colors I could have used throughout the entire sky. That would be very safe and very formulaic. That stuff is easy. It gets boring after a while if you know it well enough. Just like anything. What keeps this job of mine enjoyable and interesting is to always challenge yourself. You know, when they talk about the elements of design, that's great. It's a good guideline. So there are rules. Rules and suggestions, you know? That's great. It's much more difficult to make a painting and make a painting successfully and still break some of those rules. You also end up with having a much more intriguing painting, you know, or the possibility of it at least. I'd kind of rather go that route in a lot of cases. Yeah, I mean, there are always going to be similarities between any individual artist's paintings. That's how you know, identify their style or technique or what have you. But it's good to play. It's always good to play a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna go back into these purples here. I think I've gotten a little too experimental. It's okay, bits of it might still show through. It's entirely possible. So, we'll go back to the yellow ochre and the alizarin crimson. And ultramarine blue, a bit of white. And that's a pretty reddish purple. Yeah, it's okay. This sky doesn't warrant too many varieties of shape because it is small. doing this and then down. I think I'll go a little bit lighter here. Okay. Alright. It's a bit of a hard edge right now. For the moment, it's okay. It's, you know, I know that even though we're working with a knife, yeah, it's a two-dimensional surface. But because you can lay the paint on with varying degrees of thickness, sometimes it almost feels like you're sculpting into it a bit. It's just part of the fun of using the knife. If you like that kind of thing. Not everybody does. Okay, it's covered, but not finished, certainly. Now, these hard edges. We want to soften those a little bit. Or I do. I don't know about you. I do. I want to soften them. And because I touched the cobalt blue and went a little light here, it becomes pretty important there. That's a pretty high chroma deal. So let's take it off. Don't worry, I'm not lost, I'm just playing. Okay. Back to our alizarin and our ultramarine. And just white. Just ignoring our yellow ochre for the moment. There, I like that direction. A little too light there. Okay. Yeah, I like that. This will appear a little more forward now. Okay, get rid of that. We have a bit of this, that's good. Goes over there, then cuts back. That's good. That works. I like to just cut into this little spot though. A little bit. Okay, this is getting awfully close to where I'd like it to be. So what I'm going to do now, before I do the final touches on this guy all around, I'm going to start with one of the most important final touches. I'm going to clean my palette. And I see my battery is getting very low on my camera, but maybe I can squeeze this in before it dies. With some fairly clean titanium white. And just a little bit of yellow ochre, not much. Because amongst all this light area, we need to pick an area that's going to be the strongest, right? And I think it'll be somewhere in here. Well, that's kind of halfway between here and here, so yeah, it was too much along the trees. Looks too much like the shape going up of the, like it is of a tree going up. So let's not do that. Okay, that might be a little better. My white spot's a little too ill-defined. Not white. It's still not pure white. I just don't like pure white. I find it to be very cold. Okay, I keep messing around in here. It's getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So I better put a stop to it shortly here. Okay. Okay, the sky is painted. It is not finished. It's very close to finished though. We'll do a quick zoom here. I'm going to need to cut through this bunch of trees to indicate some branches and to show some spaces. So I'll be picking up some sky colors and laying them in here and there in the bush, just to shape things, make it a little more interesting. But for the time being, there's our sky. So you can see that even though I removed that very blue area, now that I've laid purple over it, bits of the blue show through. That just makes it look richer. You know, that's nothing wrong with that. Actually, that's a good thing. It's a benefit. Okay, let's back you out here. I'll upload this. Maybe have another one later today. We'll see. Actually, we have guests coming, so we'll see about that.